Very good morning, everyone. The ADR Monitoring Center of St.Peter Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, approved under National Coordinating Center Pharmacovigilance Program of India, is delighted to have you all here today for this webinar on sensitizing pharmacy students towards reporting of ADR by patients. For this webinar, we have our alumni, Dr. Mriganka Paul, who is right now working at GlaxoSmithKline. Before getting into the details of the webinar, I would like to request our principal, Dr. P. Rajshekhar, to deliver the welcome
address. Principal speaking on behalf of St. Peter's. And again, welcome Mriganka Paul, our alumni, and also one of my best students. He was always on the brink of doing things every day, and he's we can say like he's one of a kind of student who I can yours now, and I wish you a very good session. And thank you for coming again.
Thank you for your brief introduction and kind words, sir. Before getting on to the session, let's have a look at the AV of our institution. As this has been the 75 years of Pharmacy Council of India Act 1948, in memory of that, St. Peter's Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences have prepared a video clip with Pharmacy Council of India. Let's have a look at that. Now let's get on with the scientific session. I request Ms. Shivani Ravala, Assistant Professor, to introduce our speaker for the day.
Good morning to all. Myself, Ms. Shivani Ravala, Assistant Professor, St. Peter's Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences. Before I take the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, please allow me to publicly express my gratitude to Dr. Shri Jaypal Reddy sir, our chairman, Principal Dr. Rashikar Ravi, HOD Department of Pharmacy, to address the topic sensitizing pharmacy students and encouraging reporting of ADRs by patients. I now introduce analysis grade 15 in Pfizer Private Limited. Currently, he is working
Uh,
dual portfolio of generic.
uh, there were some technical difficulties. Anyhow, Dr. Paul, we will be glad if you start your session for the day. You can share your screen and start the session.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Before I start off with the session, I just like to congratulate St. Peter's team for this wonderful feats that I have just seen in the videos. This culture of,
It's
first of all,
something
the
like
culture of making videos, and this. I remember when we were studying that this culture had started, and now it has been an honor that St. Peter's is actually have prepared the video for the 75th celebration, 75th year celebration. So, and coming to the video that for the St. Peter's Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, it is wonderful actually. There's so many activities that is going on currently, and people might say there's a small institution and something or other, but I have that strong belief every time that even though it's a small institution, it's very strong in its principles, and also the effort it takes to keep the students engaged. So okay, and again, thank you, St. Peters, for giving me the opportunity to present today. And it's not a very extensive topic, but it's a very important topic that we are going to discuss. I'll just share my screen. Someone confirm once they can see my screen. I'm going full screen. Just let me know if you can
Yeah,
see.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Screen is
Okay, so as Dr. Shivani has told, I'm currently working as a safety evaluation and risk management scientist in Glaxo, that is GSK currently. And today's topic that I'll be covering is sensitizing the pharmacy students and encouraging reporting of drug adverse reactions by patients. So before I start off, I would like to dedicate this talk of mine to my mentor and our very beloved ex-principal sir, late Dr. Suresh Bandari. It was very devastating for me that I come across this news of him very lately. Um, I mean, whatever I am now currently, he has been actually one of the few people who has molded and crafted my career. Uh, so I would like to thank him for all his contributions to St. Peter's and also towards his students. Thank you, sir. So coming to the topic today, and today's agenda. So first we'll just have a see or have an introduction of what is actually a adverse drug reaction is, and then what is an adverse drug reaction reporting tool, which is the main topic around which we'll be having our discussion. What has been the history behind this coining the term adverse drug reaction, and also implementing adverse drug reaction reporting tool, why we need an adverse drug reaction reporting, then who can report and how and whom to report, and then we'll come to the most important part, how a pharmacist can actually help in ADR reporting, and also what are the barriers of ADR reporting. uh, we all know, and being the pharmacy student, and I hope that we all know the very basic definition of adverse drug reaction, which is an noxious and unintended response of our body towards a drug at the therapeutic dosage, or during a prophylactic treatment or a diagnostic treatment of the patient. And uh, actually, lack of reporting leads to almost is actually one of the leading reasons or causes that leads to morbidity and mortality globally. And it is very important that adverse drug reactions are actually monitored, or reported and also monitored. So what is an adverse drug reporting tool? Anything or any process which helps in actually documenting these undesirable effects associated with these medical products is actually a adverse drug reporting tool, or ADR reporting tool. And an ADR reporting covers all sorts of treatment options, like pharmaceutical products, biological, herbal drugs, cosmetics, and medical devices also. And this medical devices is actually very new and also very important topic that can be focused in from the college level only currently, because with the advent of this artificial intelligence, most of the drug delivery system are getting into medical devices. So medical devices is almost more or less in all sorts of upcoming or pipeline drugs, some or the other way. So mostly these are actually drug device combination products that are coming up currently. So medical device is also a very important part of pharmacovigilance currently. So coming to the history, history has been more of a necessity actually. uh, it it came up, the importance of having a adverse drug reporting process actually came up because of this certain infamous tragedies that happened. One of it was in 1957, that is thalidomide tragedy. And then in 1968, WHO came up with 10 member states and formed the ADR terminology and drug dictionary. Then in 1969, we have actually coined the term adverse drug reaction, or the definition of the adverse drug reaction. In 1978, Uppsala was given all the authority to manage this, and then grading field was added to VG base. 1991, online WHO database search program available was made available to the national center. 2001, VG Flow, actually, I mean, the online version of VG base, that is VG Flow, currently was made into effect. 2010, 100 countries actually joined this WHO program for international drug monitoring. So this is how actually the history has been, and there are a lot many important points. I mean, these are I have just covered the most um, relevant ones, but each country have their own. Even India has their own history of having adverse drug monitoring, adverse drug reporting. So why ADR reporting? ADR, as I told, that it's one of the leading cause of having death in many countries currently. um, and it has been seen that in India, 5% of the hospital admissions are due to lack of ADR reporting. So, and then why it is so much talked about, why it is so much stressed upon that ADR reporting is essential, ADR reporting is essential, PV activities is essential, is because it's one of the most economical and widely used system. I mean, even though it's economical and widely used, it's very robust also. And to me currently, I don't know, probably in with the artificial intelligence in effect, there might be a decrease in the dependency of uh, spontaneous reporting, that is reporting that comes from, I'll talk who are actually eligible to report. But the spontaneous reporting, I think most of the people know that the reporting that has been done after the I mean post marketing of a drug. So the dependency might become less because many companies are actually drug companies are actually coming up with their own creations or own innovative ideas of actually uh, reporting a adverse event without too much of fuss. For example, Novo Nordisk has actually designed or developed a pen. I don't know, I was when I was working, we were in talk or discussion about that pen. uh, it actually is so much capable that even with the test, you can actually test your blood sugar level with that, and based on that it is connected in a way that it sends the informations to the Novo Nordisk headquarter if at all any ADR or any sorts of abnormal what you call values are there. So that was at that time, it was in a pilot state, but I just wanted to give you that information actually how exactly companies are working on making this much more convenient for patients to report an ADR. Or else currently whatever these processes are there, I'll show you in a minute in the next slide. You'll find that it is little bit time taking. So coming to the next point, it is improve the safety profile of a drug by detecting the ADRs that may not have been detected during the pre marketing clinical trial. So always know that actually that even though clinical trials trials are done over many years, uh, exception is the COVID-19 trial, uh, but it is not possible to get all information about the adverse event that the drug might show when it is actually launched in the market, because clinical trials are very, as you know, a very controlled sort of trials. So it is not possible, and there are chances that all the whole safety profile of the drug is not established during the clinical trial. And it is, and most of the time it is just 80% of the safety profile that is developed. So upgrading the package insert. So all, as you know, everything comes with a guideline or most of the drugs comes with a usage insert or patient package insert, you can call it as. So it is a mandate for the pharmaceutical company who are actually marketing the drug, that they keep updating the package insert based on their uh, knowledge from their market experience. So ADR reporting actually helps in updating the package insert, because they can only know how their product is doing when they know actually how what are the adverse event that is happening, and then only they can update their package insert. And also similar is with the batch recall. Whenever a batch is recalled based on certain reports or based on certain safety issues with the drug or efficacy issues with the drug, then only a recall is possible. You cannot just baselessly call off a drug from the market, because it includes a lot of economical impact also on a particular marketing authorization holder or a company. So now coming to the point, who can report adverse drug reactions. So all healthcare professionals, you name it, clinician, dentists, pharmacists, nurses, physicians, physiotherapists, anyone can report uh, ADR. So and also there are options made by the health authorities, made by the companies also, that a consumer or a layman can report their ADRs. How? And before that, what to report? It can be anything, you know it, you don't know it, serious, non-serious, frequent, rare, doesn't matter. The information is what we need actually to analyze reactions from all the types of pharmaceutical products, and that I already told that it covers all sorts of pharmaceutical products, herbal, etc, etc, unani and all that. So how exactly you report in India? In other, every country have their own ways of reporting, own system of uh, getting the information of a adverse drug reaction. In India, I'll just open this link for your convenience. We have actually certain forms, online forms that are available. Particularly, these forms are particularly available for the uh, healthcare professionals, including one which can also be filled in by the consumers. So I'll just open it up. So can you confirm if the forms are available, or can you can see? Can anyone
No,
confirm?
no, Dr. Paul, I can't see your forms. If you can close your PowerPoint and then you can open it, will.
Okay, just a minute. So now you can see.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so there are actually four forms here available in the link that I provided. This is nothing but the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission's link, and here are actually this one is for the healthcare professional. You can just people can just go and check, and also for consumers and for their convenience. There are actually there is actually form with vernacular languages. So like you have it in Assamese, English, Marathi, English, Telugu, Hindi, and various other languages, Bengali, Kannada, etc., etc. Okay, so these are nothing but you can just see the level of importance that the government is showing currently, because since in India is not the language is also one of the barrier. It is actually made much more convenient for the consumers. Just open the form and understand actually what they're trying to what the government is trying to understand, or what exactly we need about information we need about the particular drug. Of late we have a new form for COVID-19 also, and also we have forms for adverse events following an immunization. These are actually more of individual case reports that you can report, and pharmacists, especially the clinical pharmacists, those who are working in the hospital setting, this is something which you can look into and try and understand actually what exactly it is. Even for the consumers, pharmacist, again you guys are the ones who are going to explain them what exactly this form in. Even though these are in vernacular languages, there are a lot of people who will not understand what exactly or what is the importance of this form is. So you can actually help them out in understanding it and actually getting this ADR reported or documented. Okay, I'll stop sharing again, coming to the presentation. Okay, so this field ADR forms can be submitted to the nearest ADR monitoring centers. If I'm not wrong, St. Peter's is also one of the ADR monitoring center currently, right? Can someone
Yes, yes,
confirm?
yes, Doctor. We are area mountains.
Correct. This is a privilege actually. Again, and or you can just directly send it to NCCPVI. So there are also other options. You can just write an email, drop an email to this email address, or you can just call them up in this toll free number. So these are all possible ways that are in place so that ADR can be reported in India. So now coming, what are the role of pharmacists in ADR reporting? So it works actually on on these three points actually: detection, identification, and prevention. So guys have to actually understand, or you can I meant to say you guys have to detect it, identify it, and then have to find out ways to prevent it. And this can be only done when you guys are reporting it. So pharmacists could perform these activities in inpatient settings. To me, the clinical pharmacists or the pharmacy students or M-Pharm clinical pharmacy students can actually take the leadership on this, and then actually can report the areas that are coming from the hospital settings. They can do it while doing a prescription, or they can do it during a usual case report study, or they can do it during a patient counseling also, if they come up with something from the patient. And the communication with the patient, is very essential actually. And since as from the very beginning, from since the inception of family, we are hearing that doctors are very busy. We need someone who can actually be more close to the patient. You guys are more close to the patient, so is the time actually where you guys can actually have very close association with the patient and actually explain them what is the importance of it again. Then reporting ideas is in a hospital based setting is actually very much important for clinical pharmacist. They can definitely do it while dispensing also, if they come across, but you can understand, right? Most of the uh, side effects or ADRs will be reported in the hospital setting than in dispensing pharmacy area. So this is why actually hospital based reporting is very essential. And currently throughout India, the clinical pharmacists are there. So I don't think it's a challenge now, hospital based setting. So now coming to the barriers, actually, what are the different barriers of ADR reporting? Uh, is actually divided into two: health system related barriers and other individual pharmacist related barriers. So coming to health system related barriers is like fear of litigation, lack of clear reporting guidelines. For example, uh, you might be shocked, I don't know, Pakistan don't have a pharmacovigilance guidance or guidelines that is required for reporting a ADR, or that regulates the drug. So Pakistan health authority does not need any information or any adverse event report or any PSUs altogether, that needs to be reported to them. So currently I'm working on certain products, and uh, for all countries there is a requirement of submitting a PBR, PSUR, or some other document. But there are a couple of products that are only marketed for me, only marketed in Pakistan currently, and it is not also in what do you call expiry stage. It's well in the market. Okay. And when I came to that point of checking whether there is any PSU scheduled for Pakistan or not, or any requirement from the health authority of Pakistan or not, it has been mentioned that it does not have any guidelines to report or to submit a aggregate report. So that's why there is no requirement of reporting an aggregate report there in Pakistan, submitting an aggregate report in Pakistan. So that is actually one example of lack of clear reporting guidelines, or there is no reporting guidelines at all. So, and also there are lack of financial rewards and incentives. That could be also one of the reason where in Pakistan you don't have a health system related you don't have sufficient fund to run this program or something like that. Coming to individual pharmacist related barriers, there are actually this is actually divided into or subdivided into two more: knowledge and clinical competence, and also attitude towards reporting ideas. So coming to knowledge and clinical competence, it says about inability to establish causality. Now I hope especially the pharmacy students, they are actually understanding what is causality is, or how to establish a causality with the causality of a adverse event that has occurred due to a drug. I think this is very much essential for people who wants to pursue a career in pharmacovigilance, and want to grow in this what you call role of pharmacovigilance. It's very much, it's a foundation actually, where you have to know from the college level itself that how exactly a drug is causing an adverse event, or whether the drug is actually causing the adverse event or not. So this this is done by establishing a causality, and establishing a causality, you need to actually have a very sound knowledge about de-challenge, re-challenge, action taken, and other confounders that are associated. Basically, you need to know actually whether this drug is responsible for this adverse event that is reported, or that is happening in the patient or not. So this is very much essential to analyze in the college level itself. So most of the clinical pharmacists currently, I'm saying most of it, there are people who might also, but most of them don't know how to establish a causality between a drug and the adverse event. So this is very much essential. uh, in college level, I again want to add little more points. I see, so far I remember from our studies, the importance of theoretical knowledge was given more, but actually the practical knowledge should be more. Practical knowledge in the sense, like, we need to understand what exactly the scope is, instead of just understanding the coding of, for example, we during our colleges, we were taught what are the different codes in medra. I mean, we did not need to know what are the different codes in medra. It's already coded and it's already there. And in coming days, when you work in a corporate setup, you do not have to know, do not need to know. No one is going to ask you, do you know the code for that some xyz adverse event or not. But they will ask you whether you can establish this causality between this adverse event and this product of mine or not. So this is how exactly it is important. So the stress should be more on the clinical part, or understanding a case report part. So I hope it is clear. And how and where to report, I already covered before. Most of the clinical pharmacists, they might not know how to report or where to report. And they don't take that pain also to go ahead and find out how and where to report. Coming to the other point, it is attitude towards reporting an ADR. Sometimes it's like self guilt of harming patients. Actually, is the other way around, that if you are not reporting, you are harming the patient. But they take it in a different, it's sort of a delusional attitude, that they will harm the patient if they report it. Then lack of interest is another. People who sometimes try to procrastinate, we'll do it later, we'll do it some other time, we'll do it when next time an adverse event is reported, something like that. And also sometimes a lack of time. There are setups where clinical pharmacists, even in their internship time also, they are actually very much occupied. So I understand that there will be time where you are actually overwhelmed with work, but actually that is a time where you can delegate the work also. So this is actually how you, with course of time, you know how to actually uh, steer a project, or these are also management skills, so that you can cover during your internship times or during your college days. So now, how to strategize and sensitize pharmacists to report an ADR and adverse event and all. So encouragement should be there, and their knowledge and their skill deficits in detecting the reporting of ADR should be actually fulfilled with continuous, most important, professional development programs. There should be program that should be run throughout the year, uh, before it becomes very much established or very much dominant topic, that ADR monitoring is very much required in their curriculum. So pharmacist even though they are out of their college, after they are out of their college, there should be such professional developmental programs. So, like, for all roles, like for teachers it is there, for other professionals it is there, so it should be there for the pharmacists also. And then coming to the next point, evidence suggests that provision of continuous education to health professionals is instrumental in changing their behaviors and attitudes towards ADR. So I hope it is very much clear that continuous education is important to healthcare professionals. And then only that point which we covered, that barrier which we covered before in the before slide, in the previous slide, that the behavior and attitude towards not reporting ADR will change it. The aim of such education should not only be limited to improve the pharmacist knowledge about ADS, but also directed to change their attitudes and perception. Again, the same thing only. There should be actually non-monetary incentives that might help actually to engage more pharmacists towards this work. So that can be done by giving a certificate of recognition, certify the pharmacists who have done a good job. Certify a there should be actually some schemes where you get certified if you have done certain work. So something like that can be done to increase the engagement. Engage the pharmacy in community setup. They can not only just limit them to the hospital, they can actually go to the community setup also, where they can go and check patient medical history, patients lifestyles, all these things. What are the different sort of events that is happening, even they can find out from their case sheets also. And then focus on the pharmacy students. I already covered that they are actually the future pharmacists, and they should be well trained. Now it is actually too late to say that we don't have a proper setup, we don't have a proper clinical setup and all that. Currently in India, I to me, clinical pharmacy is well established, and many people, many organization, many institution recognizes clinical pharmacists, so especially the farm days. So we cannot just uh, repent that we don't have this skill set, there is no sufficient resources and all that. We have enough resources to do our work currently. So coming to the take home message for from all this talk or all this discussion is that the knowledge gap which is there, it should be filled in. uh, ADA reporting and pharmacists, they should actually go head to head. To me, ADA reporting is prime job of a clinical pharmacist. There might be time where the other healthcare professionals is held up with with their other work. This is where actually we need the clinical pharmacists to do their job. And this is actually happening in US setup, you all know, in US setup also, in other European setup also. Pharmacists are actually more closer with the health authority guidelines. They actually read more elaborately about the different uh, health authority guideline that is in effect currently. And it is ever changing also. It's not that the health authorities like FDA, EMA, they follow a certain set of guidelines which are actually 10 years before drafted. It's not like that. They keep changing, and it is very dynamic document that needs to be followed. So please keep yourself updated. Knowledge gaps can be fulfilled by continuous professional development. I already covered this. And engaging the community pharmacist in the ADR reporting in the community setup. So that's all from my end. Any questions? I'd be happy to help. Or anyone knows anything, wants to know anything in the how it exactly works in the corporate setup or something like that.
Thank you, Dr. Paul. Thank you for your session. There are few questions that have been raised by our students also. So,
Okay.
from an industry's point of view, how a person from industry can sensitize patients towards reporting ADR? Because from clinical and community point of view, pharmacists can play a role, even physicians can play a role. But from an industrial point of view, for any specific drug targets, what are the things that
Okay. I
industry takes into consideration?
Okay, I am very happy that I am getting this question. I thought of covering it within the talk, but I just left it for the question part. If I was thinking, if I get this question, that means I have actually sensitized a lot, a little bit, uh, through this talk. So I'll just show you a small example. uh, Dr. Praveen, you just I'll stop sharing this ADR. I'll stop sharing this PPT, and then I'll share one more.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay, can you see, guys?
Yes, yes, I can see.
Okay, so the question was how the companies actually takes a information or get a ADR reported to them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I'll just give an example. Like all the companies for their products. Remember, it is particular company will only work for their own products. They have also a robust, for example, like Novo Nordisk. They have a robust ADR reporting site where you can just anyone can just go and report report their adverse event they are experiencing with their product with Novo Nordisk products. Similarly, other companies will also have such portals or sites where you can do it. So like here I'm sharing the Novo Nordisk site, and here it's very easy actually. You just give the reporter information. You just give your name, you give your location. If you're a healthcare professional, it you just have to tick it, and then you have to go next. And then you just have to follow it. It's properly designed for layman use, and you can use it any point in time to report an ADR. And now coming to this importance of having, why they have actually separated this healthcare professional providing a tick and all that time. Why they need this information, that whether it has been reported by the healthcare professional or not. Because most of the time the ADRs which are reported from the consumer, these are actually having very poor quality of data, like very half data you will be getting. So it's very difficult actually to analyze what exactly the drug is doing with the patient. Or it is not, it's not possible to to be very short, not possible to associate a causality with the drug. So that time we might actually, due to lack of information, we might actually have to give the benefit of the doubt to the drug. So or a causality assessment, because the causality assessment is not possible. So when this information is actually coming from healthcare professional, they have actually most of the time they have the complete data of the case. And also we consider this as a medically confirmed because this is coming from a healthcare professional. So this data is much more easier to come to analyze and come to a causality assessment. So that is the importance actually. I hope I have answered the question.
Yes, Dr. Paul, thank you for that. My question again, a continuation of that question. Will will reporting an area to the company also follow the same process as how we report in Vigiflow? Whether the same will be even reported to Upasala, or is there any separate guidelines for companies
No,
too?
no. All companies have their own PV department, like where we are working currently, and based on the local country, because most of the companies are having them marketed in have their product marketed in different markets, right? So it can be and it follows the regulatory guidelines of different countries. So that's why they have their own PV department. Once we get the information, once we get it in an ICSR form, or we get it from any other sources. I mean, it comes from their sometimes it comes from the regulatory authority also, that the MH is getting the information. It comes from these reports which I have shown just now. It comes from this there is a helpline number where you can report a ADR. All this once it is with the company, they process this ADR. ICSR processing is done, and it is submitted to the health authority of that particular region. that this is the thing which is these are actually the requirements of the different regulatory authorities that you need to submit in ICSR. And now even there are aggregate reports that are drafted or for a certain period, and these are actually again the mandates, regulatory mandates. You must be knowing that there are PBRs that needs to be drafted on a certain reporting interval basis that follows a different timeline. There are Canadian aggregate reports that is drafted, which is particularly specific to Canada. PADers particularly specific to US. So these different sort of aggregate reports, after analyzing for a certain period, is submitted within the scheduled timeline. So it usually does not go to Uppsala directly, but Uppsala is open to take this information from us. So like that.
Okay, Dr. Pal, that was a great session from you. Thank you for answering our questions. I now request Dr. P. Randeep Chaudhary, the Deputy Coordinator of ADR Monitoring Center, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Yeah, good morning to one and all present here. We have come to the conclusion of this webinar. On behalf of St. Peter's Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, I am pleased to propose the vote of thanks. I would like to give my special thanks to our beloved chairman, Sri T. Jayapal Reddy sir, for his support and guidance. I want to express my sincere gratitude towards today's speaker, Dr. Mriganka Pal, for giving us such wonderful lecture and enlightening us on the importance of reporting an ADR. I thank our principal, Dr. P. Rashekar, and convener, Dr. D. Praveen, HOD Pharmacy Practice, for their continuous involvement and guidance throughout the webinar. I would like to thank the organizing team, Dr. Rajeshri Durke, Ms. Manushree Naratla, and Ms. Shivani Raula for their efforts in conducting this webinar. Last but not the least, I also thank all teaching and non-teaching staffs of St. Peter's Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences who are involved directly or indirectly in this event. My sincere thanks and appreciation goes to all the delegates who attended this webinar with great enthusiasm and made this event a great success. Have a pleasant day. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We are sure to continue the National Pharmacovigilance Week till 23rd of September. Thank you all. We'll meet you in another session. Thank you.
Thank you.